Have you ever wondered why garden stores roll out new miracle elixirs and growth boosters every single year? Epin, zircon, athlete, cornevin. The list is endless, and so are our expenses. But what if I told you that this entire industry is designed to sell you something that nature provides absolutely free of charge? What if the most powerful growth stimulant and stress protector for your seedlings is literally right under your feet? Today, we're going to start a small revolution in your garden. I'll show you how to make a 100% natural substitute for the famous Epin, one that won't cost you a single penny. After this video, your seedlings won't just start growing, they will literally explode with vitality, and you'll stop being a customer of the garden chemical aisle forever. Ready to uncover the secret they've been hiding from you? Let's get started. Before we begin our witchcraft, let's talk a little about what we're up against. What exactly is Epin and why is it so popular? At its core, this product contains a synthetic substance called brassinosteroid. This is an artificially created counterpart to natural plant hormones, brassinosteroids. Simply put, these are the hormones responsible for managing stress and growth. When a plant experiences shock, whether from transplanting, drought, cold or disease, these are the compounds that mobilize its internal forces. They make the plant fight for its life, strengthening cell walls and stimulating root growth. Essentially, Epin acts as an emergency response, a kind of doping we administer externally. And yes, it absolutely works. But the key phrase here is synthetic counterpart. Chemists in a lab recreated something that nature produces billions of tons of every single day. These very brassinosteroids are naturally found in pollen, young shoots, and seeds. Our mission is not to buy an artificial copy, but to source the original straight from nature. And today, you're going to discover the richest and most accessible source of these phytohormones. So the key secret to our super remedy is hidden inside something incredibly ordinary: conifer needles. Yes, those very needles from pine, spruce, or fir trees that we see literally every day. Why these in particular? Conifers are true champions of survival. They withstand extreme cold, intense summer heat, thrive in the poorest soils, and manage to live for hundreds of years. This incredible vitality is naturally concentrated right there in the needles. Throughout the long winter, hidden beneath the snow, the needles accumulate a colossal amount of biologically active substances. It's a natural energy concentrate, a kind of superfuel, that the tree uses in spring for explosive, rapid growth. And this concentrate contains everything we need: phytohormones, similar to brassinosteroids, essential vitamins, powerful antioxidants, chlorophyll, and natural phytoncides. By utilizing these needles, we aren't just getting one active ingredient, like you might find in a commercial product such as Epin. Instead, we are accessing an entire natural symphony orchestra of compounds that work in perfect harmony, boosting the effects of one another. This is a comprehensive elixir that doesn't just stimulate growth, it fundamentally improves and heals the plant at every single level. Let's take a closer look under the microscope at a single pine needle to understand the true power of this natural gift. First off, there's vitamin C. Its concentration in winter pine needles is simply through the roof, 5 to 6 times higher than in lemons. For plants, ascorbic acid acts as a powerful antioxidant, helping cells effectively cope with oxidative stress. Secondly, there is carotene, the precursor to vitamin A, which plays a critical role in photosynthesis. Third, we find B vitamins, essential for carbohydrate and protein metabolism, effectively supporting the plant's overall nutrition. Moving on to chlorophyll, the green blood of plants, which helps absorb solar energy. Our pine needle infusion will literally feed your seedlings with light. And finally, we have the essential oils and phytoncides, nature's own antibiotics, possessing potent bactericidal and fungicidal action. They will help protect those delicate sprouts from pathogenic microflora, including the dreaded damping off disease. Thus, we get a powerful triple action preparation, a growth stimulant, an adaptogen, and a natural fungicide, all combined in one solution. Now for the most important part, let's dive into the practical application. The first stage is gathering the raw materials. When and where is the best time to harvest the needles? The peak concentration of beneficial compounds occurs from late winter until the sap starts actively flowing, which is roughly February through early April. This is when the tree has stored the maximum energy needed for its spring growth spurt. But don't worry if you happen to be watching this video during the summer. You can collect pine needles year-round. The winter and early spring harvest is just considered the most potent. The cardinal rule is to steer clear of busy highways and industrial areas. Trees act like sponges, absorbing heavy metals and harmful pollutants from the air. We absolutely need an ecologically clean product. The ideal location is a deep forest, a large park, or even your own property if you have coniferous trees growing there. Select healthy, vibrant green trees. We will need young sprigs from the current or previous year. These are the most tender and highest in beneficial compounds. Harvest them carefully, making sure not to damage the tree. A small bundle of these sprigs is all we need to prepare several litres of our elixir. Now that we have our bounty, what do we do next? We need to prepare the pine needles for extraction. That means drawing out all the beneficial compounds. First things first, the branches need a good rinse. Even if you collected them in a clean forest, they might still have dust or small insects on them. Simply run them under cool, flowing water and shake off the excess moisture to lightly dry them. Next, we need to process the raw material. The finer you chop the pine needles, the more beneficial compounds they will release into your final decoction. You can use ordinary kitchen scissors or gardening shears for this. Chop the branches and needles together into small segments, roughly 1 to 2 centimeters in length. This step isn't just technical, it's also somewhat therapeutic. You'll immediately notice that incredible fresh pine scent filling your entire kitchen. That strong smell signals the release of the phytohormones and essential oils. Even at this stage, you'll truly grasp the powerful, living force you hold in your hands. Next, prepare your vessel for boiling. An enamelled or stainless steel pot is the best choice. We highly recommend against using aluminum cookware, as the acids contained in the pine needles can react with the metal. Now we move on to the sacred ritual, preparing our elixir. There are a few ways to do this, but we'll focus on the simplest, quickest, and most effective, the hot extraction method. We'll need crushed pine needles and clean water. Ideally, you should use spring water, snowmelt, or at the very least, tap water that has been allowed to sit and aerate. We want to avoid chlorine. The proportions are straightforward and easy to remember. We use a volume ratio of 1 part crushed needles to 5 parts water. For example, if you have 1 cup of chopped sprigs or needles, you'll need 5 cups of water. Place the pine needles in a pot, add the required amount of water, set it on the stove, and bring it to a boil. Now this is a crucial step. As soon as the water begins to boil, immediately reduce the heat to the absolute minimum. The goal is to avoid a rolling boil and maintain only a gentle simmer. Cover the pot with a lid and let it simmer gently on low heat. Strong boiling will destroy many beneficial compounds, particularly the delicate vitamins and essential oils. We need to carefully extract these elements into the water, not just boil them down into a pine soup. Think of this process more like brewing a potent medicinal herbal tea. So how long should we let our future elixir simmer? The optimal time is 20 to 40 minutes, cooked on the very lowest heat setting. During this process, the water will fully absorb all the beneficial compounds from the pine needles, developing a beautiful golden green hue and an incredible forest aroma. Boiling it longer than that is pointless. The extraction process will be complete and you only risk destroying valuable components through prolonged heat exposure. Once the required time is up, turn off the stove, but resist the urge to immediately open the lid. The most crucial stage is the steeping. You need to thoroughly wrap the pot in something warm, like an old blanket or several thick towels, and let it cool this way for at least a few hours, or ideally, overnight. This process works similarly to a thermos. Slow cooling maximizes the extraction of beneficial properties from the pine. During this time, the decoction will become even more concentrated and rich. The steeping process allows the most stable and valuable compounds, those that didn't fully release during the initial simmering, to finally transfer into the solution. So, our elixir has finished steeping and has completely cooled down. Now we need to prepare it for use and storage. First, the decoction needs to be strained to separate the liquid from the pine needles. For this, you can use a fine mesh strainer or several layers of cheesecloth. Make sure to squeeze the needles thoroughly to get every precious drop. Don't rush to throw away the remaining spent material. You can use this as mulch for your houseplants or your seed trays. It will help deter certain pests while slowly releasing the remaining nutrients back into the soil. This is essentially a zero waste process. The result is a clear liquid, ranging in colour from light yellow to brownish green, with a pleasing pine scent. This is our concentrate, the base solution we'll be using. Now let's talk about storage. The finished concentrate should ideally be poured into glass containers, a jar or a bottle with a tightly sealed lid. You need to store it in a cool, dark place. The refrigerator is perfect. Under these conditions, our natural growth stimulant will maintain its properties for about 2 to 3 weeks. But generally speaking, you'll use it up much quicker than that. We have the concentrate now, but under no circumstances should it be used straight. It's far too potent. It could scorch the delicate roots and leaves of your seedlings. It absolutely must be diluted with water. Just like in a pharmacy, the right dosage is crucial here. The proportions will vary slightly depending on what you're using it for. Let's memorize the 3 main recipes. The first is for seed soaking. To wake the seeds up, give them a powerful boost, and disinfect them, we mix our concentrate at a ratio of 1 tablespoon per 1 litre of water. Soak the seeds in this solution for 12 to 24 hours just before planting. You'll see a noticeable improvement in germination rates. The sprouts will emerge faster and far more uniformly. This method is especially effective for those notoriously slow to germinate seeds, like peppers, eggplants, or parsley. Think of this as their personal energy drink. It will rouse even the laziest sleepers and give them the vital boost they need for a successful start. The second, and arguably the most popular, way to apply our elixir is through foliar feeding, which means spraying the liquid directly onto the leaves of your seedlings. Plants absorb nutrients through their leaves much quicker than they do through the root system. This nutrient spray is especially beneficial during stressful periods. For instance, right after transplanting, if the plants aren't getting enough light just before moving them outdoors, or if you notice their growth has stalled and they look weak or stunted. For foliar spraying, we prepare a slightly weaker solution. Mix 1 level teaspoon of our pine concentrate into 1 litre, or about 1 quart, of water. Mix thoroughly. Pour the mixture into a fine mist spray bottle and generously coat the plants until the leaves are visibly damp on both the top and bottom sides. It's crucial to perform this task early in the morning or late in the evening. This prevents the water droplets on the leaves from acting like magnifying lenses under bright sun, which can cause leaf burn. You can repeat this foliar application once every 10 to 14 days. Following this routine will ensure your seedlings remain strong and stocky, developing deep, vibrant green leaves and a robust immune system. The third method involves direct root application or root drenching. This technique is designed to stimulate robust root development, which is the foundation for the plant's overall health. Remember, strong roots equal resilient seedlings. For this root feed, we maintain the same concentration used for seed soaking, 1 tablespoon of the coniferous extract per litre of water. We use this solution to water our seedlings, completely substituting their regular water. However, moderation is key here. You only need to apply this root feed once every 2 to 3 weeks. Avoid applying it more frequently, as overstimulation can disrupt the natural balance of the soil and potentially harm the plants. This method combines exceptionally well with foliar spraying. For instance, you could spray your seedlings once every 2 weeks and then apply a root drench once in between those spray cycles. This comprehensive approach ensures maximum efficacy. By providing support through both the leaves and the roots, we guarantee harmonious and healthy development through all stages of growth, from a tiny seed to a robust, ready-to-transplant seedling. Let's discuss the very first effects you'll notice. Just a few days after the initial spray, you'll see a dramatic transformation in your seedlings. The leaves will become significantly brighter, taking on a rich, vibrant green colour. This is a clear sign that the photosynthesis process has been powerfully activated. The plants themselves will look firmer and visibly livelier. Their stems will thicken and become much stronger. Your seedlings will stop stretching out, even in less than ideal light conditions, and will instead grow compact and stocky. This compact growth is a crucial indicator of healthy, high-quality seedlings. The benefits are especially pronounced after transplanting, or pricking out. Typically, plants experience shock after this procedure, stalling their growth and sulking for several days as they recover from the stress. However, if you spray them with our coniferous elixir the day before and the day after transplanting, they will handle the move virtually stress-free and will immediately resume growing. You will be genuinely surprised by how quickly they adapt. This rapid recovery is the powerful work of the natural adaptogens that we have carefully extracted from pine needles. Which plants can benefit from our homemade solution? The answer is simple. Practically all of them. It truly is an all-purpose product. Nightshades in particular absolutely love it. Think tomatoes, peppers and eggplants. They visibly grow stronger and develop much better flower trusses. Cucumbers, zucchini and pumpkins, when treated with this infusion, become far more resilient to temperature fluctuations and gain crucial early protection against fungal diseases. Even cabbage becomes more resistant to the pesky flea beetle, since the potent coniferous aroma naturally acts as a repellent. And let's not forget your flowers. Your petunias, lobelia, asters, and any other flowering seedlings will reward your care with vigorous growth and exceptionally vibrant blooms. Furthermore, this powerful elixir is perfect for indoor houseplants, especially during winter when they struggle with low light and the drying heat from radiators. A simple spray of this pine tonic will instantly restore their vitality and healthy appearance. This truly is the universal soldier for your entire green world. Let's clear up a popular gardening myth. Some gardeners hesitate to use conifer needle tea, believing it will drastically acidify the soil. After all, it's widely known that the soil beneath pines and spruces tends to be quite acidic. While there is a grain of truth to that, it applies specifically to thick layers of conifer litter that decompose slowly over many years, genuinely altering the ground's acidity. However, in our specific recipe, we are using a heavily diluted, aqueous solution. The concentration of acids in this solution is so minimal that it cannot significantly impact the pH balance of the potting mix in your seedling trays, especially when you aren't watering every day. On the contrary, slight acidification can actually be beneficial for many crops. A mildly acidic environment helps plants better absorb certain micronutrients, such as iron. So, feel free to use our recipe without worrying about damaging your soil. The benefits gained from the bioactive substances your seedlings receive far outweigh this hypothetical and truly insignificant risk. The key takeaway is simple. Always stick to the recommended dilution ratios and never apply the pure concentrate. Now, let's move on to safety and the most common errors. Mistake number 1, which we've covered already, is over-concentrating the solution. Always remember this rule. When in doubt, less is more. Start with the minimum required dosage and carefully observe your plant's reactions. Mistake number 2 is spraying in direct, intense sunlight. That is a guaranteed recipe for burning those delicate leaves. Always apply the spray either early in the morning, late in the evening, or when the weather is overcast. The third common error is overtreatment. Plants, just like us, need time to rest and recover. Avoid stimulating them every single day. Stick to an interval of 10 to 14 days for spraying and 2 to 3 weeks if you are applying the solution via watering. Mistake number 4 is storing the prepared, diluted mixture. Any solution that has been mixed for watering or spraying must be used immediately. Do not store it, as bacteria begin to multiply rapidly. Only mix the exact amount you need for a single application. However, the pure concentrate, as you know, keeps perfectly well when stored in the refrigerator. By following these straightforward guidelines, you will ensure that you get the maximum benefit from our product every time. Let's compare our DIY solution to commercial Epin, looking beyond just effectiveness to other key factors. First, and most obvious, the price. Our homemade elixir costs essentially nothing, just a bit of your time. While Epin isn't prohibitively expensive, using it regularly throughout the growing season can really start to drain your wallet. Second, the ingredients. Epin contains just one active synthetic compound. Our infusion, however, offers an entire natural complex, hundreds of biologically active components working synergistically. It's like comparing a solo instrument to a full orchestra. Third, sustainability. Our remedy is 100% natural and completely safe for people, pets, and beneficial insects. We also avoid producing plastic packaging waste and aren't contributing to the chemical industry. Fourth, accessibility. Pine needles are available year-round in almost every region. You don't have to drive to a garden centre only to find it closed or realise they're out of stock. Your natural pharmacy is always open for business. As you can see, the advantages here are obvious. You might be wondering, if this method is so incredible, why isn't everyone using it instead of continuing to buy commercial products like Epin? The answer lies in psychology and marketing. First and foremost, it's about convenience. It's significantly easier to grab a ready-made bottle, drop in a few millilitres, and immediately see results. Our method requires a little more effort. You have to go to the woods, collect the materials, boil them, and let them steep. We live in the age of instant gratification and prepackaged solutions. Secondly, there is the sheer power of advertising. Manufacturers spend massive amounts of money convincing us that only their product, with its unique, proprietary formula, can solve our gardening problems. They bombard us with glossy ads, scientific-looking graphs, and impressive studies. The pine decoction, on the other hand, doesn't have a marketing budget. Its recipe is simply passed down through word of mouth. Thirdly, it's a lack of knowledge. Many gardeners are either unaware this option exists, or they are afraid to try something new, preferring to stick with trusted commercial products they buy at the store. Our video is designed precisely to remedy this situation, to bring back this old, unjustly forgotten knowledge and demonstrate once and for all that nature truly is the best agronomist. It's important to realise that our conifer elixir, much like similar products, is not a classical fertilizer. It does not contain the high doses of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium required to physically build the plant structure. This is specifically a biostimulant and an adaptogen. It doesn't replace complete nutrition. Instead, it helps the plant better absorb the food it gets, utilise its internal resources more efficiently, and resist unfavourable environmental factors. Think of an athlete. Proper nutrition is their main diet. Our elixir, however, is like a potent vitamin complex or an adaptogen, such as ginseng, helping them handle intense stress and recover faster. Therefore, don't forget the essentials: quality soil for your seedlings and the necessary foundational fertilizers. Our stimulant will be the key that unlocks the full potential of your plants, the potential inherent in nature and amplified by your care. It is the conductor, ensuring the entire orchestra of nutrients plays together smoothly and harmoniously. But let's not limit ourselves to just using this for seedlings. Our pine elixir should be a staple throughout the entire growing season. Just finish transplanting your seedlings. Give them a spray a few days later to help them adapt to their new home. Facing a late spring frost, treating your plants with the pine infusion, both before and after, helps them weather the stress with minimal damage. If pests or diseases have struck and weakened your plants, use our remedy to boost their immunity. It helps them recover and regain strength following treatment with stronger conventional products. Planning to root cuttings of roses or currants? Soaking them in the pine decoction solution will significantly improve your success rate. Even houseplants that you move onto the patio or balcony for the summer will thank you for this anti-stress shower. Essentially, this gives you a universal, all-season support system for your entire garden, from the first thaw until late autumn. And the best part? It's virtually free, requiring only a little time and the willingness to connect with the wisdom of nature. But there's another crucial aspect we shouldn't overlook: the process itself. When you venture into the woods to collect pine needles, you're not just harvesting raw materials. You breathe fresh air, listen to the birds singing, and escape the hustle and bustle of city life. As you prepare the decoction, your home fills with the restorative aroma of the forest. This isn't just an agricultural technique, it's a form of meditation, a genuine connection with nature. You are pouring not only the beneficial substances from the pine needles into this elixir, but also your own care and energy. And your plants sense this. Gardening isn't about chasing the highest yield. It's a process of co-creating with the natural world. Using these natural, homemade remedies makes the entire process deeper, more mindful, and truly joyful. You stop being just a consumer of ready-made solutions and become a true creator, one who understands the needs of their green companions and knows how to source their medicine directly from nature. This is a completely different level of interaction with your garden, one that brings far more profound satisfaction than simply buying another bottle off the shelf. So, let's wrap things up. Today, we didn't just learn how to create a free, homemade alternative to commercial biostimulants like Epin. We achieved something far greater. We learned to understand nature's language and harness its abundant gifts. We discovered that simple pine needles are a powerhouse of vitamins, phytohormones, and protective compounds. We mastered an easy recipe for making a powerful biostimulant, one that will help our seedlings grow strong, healthy, and resilient against any hardship. We also covered exactly how to use it for soaking seeds, foliar spraying, and general watering. We compared our homemade elixir to store-bought preparations and confirmed its undeniable advantages: zero cost, 100% natural composition, comprehensive action, and absolute accessibility. Now, your gardening arsenal contains a secret weapon that allows you to cultivate beautiful harvests while saving money and working in true harmony with nature. You are no longer dependent on marketing gimmicks or the shelves of the garden centre. True power lies in knowledge and in the gifts of the forest that are always right outside your door. And there you have it, folks. From simple pine needles and twigs, we've created a true elixir of life for our plants. You have to admit, it feels like a little bit of magic. We've proven that you don't need expensive commercial products in fancy bottles just to get strong, healthy seedlings. Everything we truly need, nature has already provided. We simply have to be grateful for it and know how to use it properly. This simple recipe not only saves you money, but also makes your gardening practice much more sustainable and mindful. Instead of feeding your plants a chemical cocktail, you are giving them the vital, living power of the forest. Thank you so much for sticking with the video all the way to the end. I truly hope you found this not only interesting, but genuinely helpful. If you did, please support our channel. Go ahead and hit that like button right now, and make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of our upcoming tips and recipes for your garden and homestead. Now here's a question for you. What folk remedies do you use to boost plant growth? Maybe you have a family secret recipe that's been tested and trusted for years. Please share your wisdom and experience in the comments below. Let's create a comprehensive encyclopedia of gardening folk wisdom together. See you next time.